Hey, what's up, everybody? Look at me. I'm on my couch. Not my usual setup for these things. This is the couch where, if you're familiar with the channel where I do my watch along and reactions and stuff like that, decided to do a little something different. You know, something that doesn't feel like work per se, and something that feels a little bit more cozy and feel like I'm talking to all of you out there. Just came back from the theater. Still got my popcorn with me. The Regal popcorn near me choice. Very tasty. But I just saw Shazam, Fury of the Gods, a sequel to Shazam that came out how many years ago now? Oh, quite a while ago. So I'm sure a lot of you are wondering, does this movie even matter? You know, with all the changes and differences that's happening in the DC world and DC universe with James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over, you know, is this movie even worth watching? Well, stay tuned. I got some thoughts on that.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Again, apologies if it's looking a little ratty here. I got my Wii U. We're doing a lot of Wii U gaming. Any of you out there into Wii U? Any of you Wii U? For me, when I first saw Shazam, it was one of those experiences that I was not expecting. You know, basically didn't know what to expect from the movie at all. Didn't know how it played along with the whole entire DC universe at the time. And I was actually pleasantly surprised and pleased with how well the movie turned out. It had a lot of heart. It was very charming. I thought and felt that all the people acting together within that Shazam family really had good chemistry, and they really worked well together. Specifically, Asher Angel and Jack Dylan Grazer, they had awesome chemistry together. And for those of you who've seen it, and I'm sure you have if you're watching this right now, at the end of that movie we had a little tease with maybe a possible Superman appearance and all that stuff with I believe it really was Henry Cavill providing the voice for Superman there. So everyone was kind of excited when, you know, thinking that this was going to be within the world of DC Universe. Then we got Black Adam last year with no real mention of Shazam throughout, which was pretty interesting. But still, regardless, you know, people were hyped and talking about what is the potential now for Black Adam and Shazam to finally meet toe-to-toe, head-to-head in a future collaboration together. Then the DC news dropped, and pretty much everything is being reworked and retooled as far as we know, and we're going to start seeing that possibly with the new Flash movie coming out now that James Gunn and Peter Safran are fully taking over the creative reins over there. They've mentioned that they have no plans for another Black Adam follow-up anytime soon. They've been kind of coy with the whole Shazam inclusion and everything, and you know, Zachary Levi has also been kind of like, you know, it'll be great to continue to carry on with this character, but no real solid confirmation if this Shazam is going to carry on within their plans for the DCU moving forward. But with all that being said, so how was the movie? The movie in itself is actually a nice, cute, fun, entertaining movie that is really geared and meant for families. I can see it now that this weekend, if you have a family or if families are going out to the theater to watch this movie, they're going to be thoroughly entertained because it has a lot of stuff for everybody there. The kids are going to enjoy it because maybe they can relate with some of the cast members and all that stuff. And it's one of the things that was charming from the original movie, you know, given that it was very family centric. That being said, however, for me personally, who went to watch it solo, I thought it was okay. Mid at best. Definitely didn't feel that it was better than the first movie. They did, you know, still carry on some of the charms and cuteness from the original, but I did feel like most of this movie was kind of dull in a certain way. You have some themes within the movie, and some of those themes include like maturation, growing up, learning how to do stuff on your own. It's always difficult to hang on to the past, and sometimes you have to move forward into the future without looking back and all that stuff like that. Everyone's growing up, everyone's coming into their own, and it's not always going to be all roses and, you know, nice things, and, you know, family will always be family, but that doesn't mean you're always going to be together. So of course you have the main character dealing with that, along with being the fact that, hey, I'm Shazam, and you know what, my entire family is a team of Shazams and all that. So what are we gonna do? And of course, you have the threat from Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu. They pose the challenging aspect of it, and they have to figure out how to deal with that new threat. No spoilers here, don't worry, I'm not going to reveal anything about the plot because there were some reveals in this movie that was unexpected, and for the most part it was okay. Nothing to really write home about. The luxury that they have with this film being kind of a standalone film and not necessarily tied into the whole story of the DCU and all that is that they can do whatever they want, and it's a nice fun time, kind of like reading a one-off issue comic book. Zachary Levi, you could tell he's extremely passionate about this role, and looks like he just had a lot of fun. Asher Angel and Zach Dylan Grazer, they had their own fun too. It looks like their chemistry has definitely carried on from the original movie. You could tell they're growing up. These kids are growing up really fast, so it's kind of nice to kind of see them in this role, which could possibly be the last time we get to see them like that. It was actually amazing to see Rachel Zegler in this movie, in this film. I thought she did a pretty good job in her role. Last time we've seen her, or at least I've seen her, was West Side Story, and I was always curious as to how she's gonna be in a different type of role where she's really acting more, not heavily relying on maybe her singing and musical numbers and all that, and I thought she did a really good job. I'm actually very excited to see what else she can do outside of all this. But come on, the MVP, the all-star of this movie is Helen Mirren. You have a veteran actress like that who is so prestigious, and she finds herself in a role in this superhero movie and she completely owns it. She doesn't back down from anything. She's all in. You can tell she's all in. And you could tell that she's probably having a lot of fun because that's what is put out there on the screen. Now, I love Lucy Liu, my destined wife if this was another life or another world or another universe. I remember there was a time they were filming Sherlock in my neighborhood, and I told everyone that if you find me disappearing all of a sudden one day, that's probably because I either got arrested for stalking Lucy Liu on set, or we finally made contact, realized that we were destined to be together, and we went off and hitched up and lived a life somewhere on some random island. With all that being said, unfortunately, it felt like Lucy Liu was in another movie. I felt like she was playing a villainess that you will often see in an old school superhero movie, something like from the 90s era, early 2000s. It was very tongue-in-cheek, very mustache twirling and all that, and pretty campy. Not her strongest thing that she's done, but still, regardless, it was interesting to see her in this type of role. Now, I will say that there are 2 post-credit scenes and a surprise cameo in the movie that I'm not going to mention. And it was very interesting to see all these play out because, again, it brings back the fact that what did they have planned with Shazam and the Shazam team moving forward within the DCU? It's obvious that they had big plans for Shazam, and it's obvious that they were planning to include him in a lot of other things, especially who he could be potentially interacting with in future iterations, or possibly cameoing or teaming up within other movies and all that. And you get a lot of that feeling from the post-credit scenes themselves. So make sure you watch not only immediately after the movie, but wait through the full credits because there's another scene there. But yeah, now we are left with this movie out and done with, and people are hopefully going to go watch it over the weekend. We are left with the thought of, well, what is to come of Shazam moving forward? It's possible that he could still be around, now that they're kind of introducing their own version of the multiverse and all that. So he could still exist in another plane and universe where, he's going about his business and doing whatever. Could he potentially jump universes? Who's to say? Who's to know? The one thing you should keep in mind is that Peter Safran himself was producer on this film. So I'm pretty sure this project and this IP could be very close and dear to his heart. So now that he's working with James Gunn for the overall vision of the new DCU, I won't be surprised if he finds a way to include Shazam in the future. So yeah, at the end of the day, it was entertaining. I did feel like the middle dragged on a little bit too long, but at the end of the day, it was a decent film and I wasn't mad at it. So on Letterboxd, I gave it 3 stars. I didn't like it per se because I don't think this is a movie that I'm planning to revisit anytime soon or in the future. Unless I want to refer back to the post-credit scene scenes and the ending if some things shake up in the DCU moving forward. But like I always say, it doesn't matter at all what I think. What matters most is what all of you think. Is Shazam Fury of the Gods a movie you're planning to watch this weekend or in the next coming weeks? Let me know in the comments. If you've already seen it and you want to share some of your thoughts and opinions on the movie, or if you find yourself agreeing with some of the things I said or disagreeing, let me know about them in the comments below as well. And if you've never seen me before, well, I'm glad you're seeing me now. And if you want to see more of me or similar content like this, all you gotta do is hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to stay up to date with all of the other stuff that I do here. And if that's the case, don't forget to hit that notification bell to get notified every time a new video is uploaded. A little later tonight, I'm gonna be recording the Movie Time podcast with my movie bro, Blake Wolf, and we're gonna be talking more about Shazam and probably diving into more spoiler territory there. So if you wanna see our thoughts and hear about all that stuff, definitely stay tuned to the channel. And if you're a fan of podcasts, you can find LOWKEY GEEK on the podcast platforms as well. Just type in LOWKEY GEEK on your podcast platform of choice where you could find this episode and many others for your downloading and listening pleasure. And if you're in a position to further help support the channel and help the channel grow, don't forget to check out our affiliates in the description. If you like the tee that I'm wearing, and if you want to get one yourself or something similar, then definitely check out 80s Tees. Got a nice special code for you in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay cool, stay classy, stay safe, and I'll catch you all in the next one. All right, peace out, y'all.